The Swelling of Jordan by Rudyard Kipling. If thou hast run with the footmen, and they have wearied thee, then how canst thou contend with horses? And if in the land of peace, wherein thou trustedst, they wearied thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of Jordan? Seen the Gadsby's bungalow in the plains on a January morning, Mrs. G. arguing with bearer in back veranda. Capt Roman 1000 rides up. Capt Roman 1000 mornin', Mrs. Gadsby house the infant phenomenon, and the proud proprietor. Mrs. G. Yowl find them in the front veranda, go through the house, I am Martha just now. Capt M. cumbered about with cares of kitmatgers, I fly. Passes into front veranda, where Gadsby's watching Gadsby Jr. aged 10 months crawling about the matting. Capt Roman 1000, what's the trouble, Gad? Spoiling an honest man's Europe morning, this way, seeing G. Jr. by Jove, that yearling's common on amazingly any amount of bone below the knee there. Cap G. Yes, he's a healthy little scoundrel, don't you think his hair's growing? Capt Roman 1000, let's have a look. Hi HSD, come here, General Luck, and well report on you. Mrs. G. within, what absurd name will you give him next? Why do you call him that? Capt Roman 1000, isn't he our Inspector General of Cavalry? Doesn't he come down in his 17th perambulator every morning, the Pink Hussars parade? Don't wriggle, Brigadier, give us your private opinion on the way. The 3rd Squadron went past trifle ragged, weren't they? Capt G. a bigger set of tailors than the new draft I don't wish to see. They've given me more than my fair share, knocking the squadron out of shape, it's sickening. Capt Roman 1000, when you're in command, y'all do better, young un, can't you walk, yet grip my finger and try to G, 'twon't hurt his hocks, will it? Capt G. oh no, don't let him flop though, or hell lick all the blacking off your boots. Mrs. G. within, who's destroying my son's character? Capt Roman 1000, and my godsons, I am ashamed of you, Gaddy, punch your father in the eye, Jack, don't you stand it, hit him again. Capt G. Sotto voce, put the butcher down and come to the end of the veranda, rather the wife didn't hear just now. Capt Roman 1000, you look awfully serious, anything wrong? Capt G. depends on your view entirely. I say, Jack, you won't think more hardly of me than you can help. Will you come further this way? The fact of the matter is that I've made up my mind, at least I am thinking seriously off cutting the service. Capt Roman 1000 H. What? Capt G. don't shout, I'm going to send in my papers. Capt Roman 1000, are you mad? Capt G. newly married. Capt Roman 1000, look here, what's the meaning of it all? You never intend to leave us. You can't, isn't the best squadron of the best regiment of the best cavalry in all the world good enough for you? Capt G. jerking his head over his shoulder, she doesn't seem to thrive in this god-forsaken country, and there's the butcher to be considered, and all that you know. Capt Roman 1000, does she say that she doesn't like India? Capt G. that's the worst of it, she won't for fear of leaving me. Capt Roman 1000, what are the hills made for? Capt G. not for my wife at any rate. Capt Roman 1000, you know too much, Gaddy, and I don't like you any the better for it. Capt G. never mind that she wants England, and the butcher would be all the better for it, I am going to chuck, you don't understand. Capt Roman 1000 hotly, I understand this 137 new horse to be licked into shape somehow, before luck comes round again, a hairy-heeled draft hull, give more trouble than the horses a camp, next cold weather for a certainty ourselves the first on the roster, the Russian shindy ready to come to a head at 5 minutes' notice, and you the best of us all backing out of it, all think a little, Gaddy, you won't do it. Capt G. hang it, a man has some duties toward his family, I suppose. Capt Roman 1000, I remember a man though who told me the night after Amterin, when we were picketed under Jagai, and he'd left his sword be, the way did you ever pay rankin for that sword in, and not man's eyes head that man told me that he'd stick by me, and the Pinks as long as he lived. I don't blame him for not sticking by me, not much of a man, but I do blame him for not sticking by the Pink Hussars. Capt G. uneasily, we were little more than boys then, can't you see, Jack, how things stand? Tisn't as if we were serving for our bread, we've, all of us more or less, got the filthy lucre. I'm luckier than some perhaps, there's no coal for me to serve on. Capt Roman 1000, none in the world for you or for us, except the regimental, if you don't choose to answer to that, of course. Capt G. don't be too hard on a man, you know that a lot of us only take up the thing for a few years, and then go back to town and catch on with the rest. Capt Roman 1000, not lots, and they aren't some of us. Cap G, and then there are one's affairs at home to be considered, read me place, and the rents, and all that. I don't suppose my father can last much longer, and that means the title and so on. Capt Roman 1000, afraid you won't be entered in the stud book correctly unless you go home, take 6 months then, and come out in October. If I could slay off a brother or two, I suppose I should be a marquis of sorts. Any fool can be that. But it needs men, gaddamen like you to lead flanking squadrons. Properly, don't you delude yourself into the belief that you're going home to take your place and prance about among pink-nosed cabuli dowagers. You aren't built that way, I know better. Cap G, a man has a right to live his life as happily as he can. You aren't married. Capt Roman 1000, and praise be to Providence, and the 1 or 2 women who have had the good sense to jawab me. Cap G, then you don't know what it is to go into your own room and see your wife's head on the pillow, and when everything else is safe, and the house shut up for the night, to wonder whether the roof beams won't give and kill her. Capt Roman 1000, aside revelations first, and second aloud. So I knew a man who got squiffy at our mess once, and confided to me that he never helped his wife onto her horse, without praying that she'd break her neck before she came back. All husbands aren't alike, you see. Capt G, what on earth has that to do with my case? The man must ha' been mad, or his wife as bad as they make 'em. Capt Roman 1000, aside, no fault of yours if either weren't all you say. You've forgotten the time when you were insane about the Harriet woman. You always were a good hand at forgetting. Aloud, not more mad than men who go to the other extreme. Be reasonable, Gaddy. Your roof beams are sound enough. Cap G, that was only a way of speaking. I've been uneasy and worried about the wife ever since that awful business 3 years ago, and I nearly lost her. Can you wonder? Capt Roman 1000, oh, a shell never falls twice in the same place. You've paid your toll to misfortune should your wife be picked out more than anybody else's. Cap G, I can talk just as reasonably as you can, but you don't understand. You don't understand. And then there's the butcher. Deuce knows where the ire takes him to sit in the evening. He has a bit of a cough, haven't you noticed it? Capt Roman 1000, bosh, the brigadier's jumping out of his skin. With pure condition, he's got a muzzle like a roseleaf, and the chest of a 2-year-old. What's demoralized you? Cap G, funk, that's the long and the short of it, funk. Capt Roman 1000, but what is there to funk? Capt G, everything, it's ghastly. Capt Roman 1000, ah, I see you don't want to fight, and by jingo, when we do, you've got the kid, you've got the wife, you've got the money too. That's about the case, eh? Capt G, I suppose that's it, but it's not for myself, it's because of them, at least I think it is. Capt Roman 1000, are you sure, looking at the matter in a cold-blooded light? The wife is provided for even if you were wiped out tonight. She has an ancestral home to go to, money, and the brigadier to carry on the illustrious name. Cap G, then it is for myself, or because they are part of me. You don't see it, my life's so good, so pleasant, as it is, that I want to make it quite safe, can't you understand? Capt Roman 1000, perfectly shelter pit for the officer's charger, as they say in the line. Capt G, and I have everything to my hand to make it so. I am sick of the strain and the worry for their sakes out here, and there isn't a single real difficulty to prevent my dropping it. Altogether it'll only cost me Jack. I hope y'all never know the shame that I've been going through for the past 6 months. Capt Roman 1000, hold on there. I don't wish to be told. Every man has his moods and tenses sometimes. Cap G, laughing bitterly, has he? What do you call craning over to see where your near for lands? Capt Roman 1000, in my case, it means that I have been on the considerable bend, and have come to parade with a head and a hand. It passes in 3 strides. Cap G, lowering voice, it never passes with me, Jack. I'm always thinking about it. Phil Gadsby funking a fall on parade, sweet picture. Isn't it? Draw it for me. Capt Roman 1000, gravely, heaven forbid, a man like you can't be as bad as that. A fall is no nice thing, but one never gives it a thought. Cap G, doesn't one wait till you've got a wife and a youngster of your own, and then y'all know how the roar of the squadron behind you turns you cold all up the back. Capt Roman 1000, aside, and this man led at Amterin after Bagel Deason went under, and we were all mixed up together, and he came out of the snow dripping like a butcher allowed skittles. The men can always open out, and you can always pick your way more or less. We haven't the dust to bother us as the men have, and whoever heard of a horse stepping on a man? Capt G, never as long as he can see, but did they open out for poor Errington? Capt Roman 1000, oh, this is childish. Capt G, I know it is worse than that. I don't care. You've ridden Van Loo. Is he the sort of brute to pick his way specially? when we're coming up in column of troop with any pace on. Capt Roman 1000 once in a blue moon do we gallop in column of troop, and then only to save time errant 3 lengths enough for you. Cap G yes quite enough, they just allow for the full development of the smash. I am talking like a cur I know, but I tell you that for the past 3 months I've felt every hoof of the squadron in the small of my back, every time that I've led. Capt Roman 1000 but Gaddy this is awful. Cap G isn't it lovely isn't it royal a captain of the Pink Hussars, watering up his charger before parade, like the blasted boozing colonel of a black regiment. Capt Roman 1000 you never did. Cap G once only he squelched like a mussuk, and the troop sergeant major cocked his eye at me, you know old Haffy's eye I was afraid to do it again. Capt Roman 1000 I should think so that was the best way to rupture old Van Loo's tummy, and make him crumple you up you knew that. Capt G I didn't care it took the edge off him. Capt Roman 1000 took the edge off him, Gaddy Yowya you mustn't you know think of the men. Capt G that's another thing I am afraid of you s'pose they know. Capt Roman 1000 let's hope not, but they're a deadly quick to spot scum little things of that kind see here old man, send the wife home for the hot weather, and come to Kashmir with me well start a boat on the Dal, or cross the Rotungshoot Ibex, or loaf which you please, only come you're a bit off your oats, and you're a talking nonsense look at the colonel swag-bellied rascal that he has a wife, and no end of a bow window of his own, can any one of us ride round Himchickstones, and all I can't, and I think I can shove a crock along a bit. Cap G some men are different I haven't any nerve Lord help me, I haven't the nerve I've taken up a hole and a half to get my knees well under the wallets, I can't help it I am so afraid of anything happening to me on my soul, I ought to be broke in front of the squadron for cowardice. Capt Roman 1000 ugly word that I should never have the courage to own up. Cap G I meant to lie about my reasons when I began, but I've got out of the habit of lying to you old man, Jack you want but I know you want. Capt Roman 1000 of course, not half allowed the Pinks are paying dearly for their pride. Capt G a what? Capt Roman 1000, don't you know the men have called Mrs. Gadsby the pride of the Pink Hussars ever since she came to us. Capt G tisn't her fault don't think that it's all mine. Capt Roman 1000 what does she say? Capt G I haven't exactly put it before her she's the best little woman in the world Jack, and all that but she wouldn't counsel a man to stick to his calling, if it came between him and her, at least I think. Capt Roman 1000, never mind don't tell her what you told me go on the peerage, and landed gentry tack. Capt G shed see through it she's 5 times cleverer than I am. Capt Roman 1000 aside then shall accept the sacrifice, and think a little bit worse of him for the rest of her days. Capt G absently I say do you despise me? Capt Roman 1000 queer way of putting it have you ever been asked that question? Think a minute what answer used you to give. Capt G so bad as that I am not entitled to expect anything more, but it's a bit hard when one's best friend turns round and… Capt Roman 1000, so I have found, but you will have consolations bailiffs and drains and liquid manure, and the Primrose League, and perhaps if you're a lucky the colonelcy of a yeomanry cavalry regimental uniform, and no riding I believe how old are you? Capt G 33 I know it's… Capt Roman 1000 at 40 yowl, be a fool of a J.P. landlord, at 50 yowl on a bath chair, and the brigadier if he takes after you will be fluttering the dovecoats, off what's the particular dunghill, you're a going to also Mrs. Gadsby will be fat. Capt G limply this is rather more than a joke. Capt Roman 1000 you think so isn't cutting the service a joke, it generally takes a man 50 years to arrive at it, you're a quite right though it is more than a joke you've managed it in 33. Capt G don't make me feel worse than I do, will it satisfy you if I own that I am a shirker a scrimshanker and a coward? Capt Roman 1000, it will not because I am the only man in the world who can talk to you like this, without being knocked down you mustn't take all that I've said to heart in this way, I only spoke ye a lot of it at least out of pure selfishness, because oh damn it all old man I don't know what I shall do without you of course you've got the money, and the place, and all that and there are 2 very good reasons why you should take care of yourself. Capt G doesn't make it any sweeter I am backing out I know I am. I always had a soft drop in me somewhere and I daren't risk any danger to them. Capt Roman 1000 why in the world, should you're a bound to think of your family bound to think if I wasn't a younger son I'd go tube shot if I wouldn't. Cap G. Thank you, Jack, it's a kind lie. But it's the blackest you've told for some time. I know what I am doing, and I am going into it with my eyes open, old man. I can't help it. What would you do if you were in my place? Capt. Roman 1000 aside, couldn't conceive any woman getting permanently between me and the regiment allowed. Can't say very likely, I should do no better. I am sorry for you, awfully sorry, but if them's your sentiments, I believe, I really do, that you are acting wisely. Cap G. Do you? I hope you do. In a whisper, Jack, be very sure of yourself. Before you marry, I am an ungrateful ruffian to say this, but marriage, even as good a marriage as mine has been, hampers a man's work. It cripples his sword arm, and oh, it plays hell with his notions of duty. Sometimes good and sweet as she is, sometimes I could wish that I had kept my freedom. No, I don't mean that exactly. Mrs. G. coming down veranda. What are you wagging your head over, Pip? Capt. Roman 1000 turning quickly. Me, as usual, the old sermon. Your husband is recommending me to get married. Never saw such a one-ideaed man. Mrs. G. Well, why don't you? I dare say you would make some woman very happy. Cap G. There's the law and the prophets, Jack, never mind the regiment. Make a woman happy aside, oh Lord. Capt. Roman 1000 Well, see, I must be off to make a troop cook desperately unhappy. I won't have the wily hussar fed on government bullock train. Shinbones hastily, surely black ants can't be good for the brigadier. He's picking him off the matting and eating em here, Senor Comandante. Don Grubbernos, come and talk to me. Lifts G. Jr. in his arms. Want my watch? You won't be able to put it into your mouth, but you can try. G. Jr. drops watch, breaking dial and hands. Mrs. G. Oh, Captain Mafflin, I am so sorry, Jack, you bad little villain. Oh. Capt. Roman 1000, it's not the least consequence, I assure you. He'd treat the world in the same way if he could get it into his hands. Everything's made to be played with and broken, isn't it, young un? Mrs. G. Mafflin didn't at all like his watch being broken, though he was too polite to say so. It was entirely his fault for giving it to the child. Dem little puds are very feeble. Arrant day by Jack in box. To G. What did he want to see you for? Capt. G. Regimental sharp as usual. Mrs. G. The regiment, always the regiment, on my word. I sometimes feel jealous of Mafflin. Capt. G. Wearily, poor old Jack. I don't think you need. Isn't it time for the butcher to have his nap? Bring a chair out here, dear. I've got something to talk over with you.